The I guess what we're wanting to discuss today was, or the common theme was we're doing a lot of things that we've never done before. Um, Now, some of these things are similar to things we've done before, and that really helps. But in general, the questions we're getting is, do you have guidelines? Who can we talk to about this? Is there some literature? Is there a handbook? And I would tell you right now, those things don't exist. We can work hard. We can put together guidelines and handbooks and that kind of thing. But in a general sense, what I would tell you is, sometimes situations come up and we can't afford to wait for a handbook, for guidelines. And even under normal circumstances, anytime something new is done, the first time they do it, they're not going to have guidelines and handbooks. They're going to, people have to get out and experiment. So, what I wanted to talk about was some ideas about how we can operate without having all the literature and all the things we're used to. And just in general terms, of what I'm saying is, we can't just throw out all of our previous experience because there's a new technology or there's a new idea for a way of doing things. The traditions that we have, our big T traditions, as well as just things that we've always traditionally done in Narcotics Anonymous, those things are our best indicators of like ideas and ways of doing things that have survived the test of time. And whenever we can follow those things, we should. But just because something hasn't been done before doesn't make it wrong. And, the only reason I'm bringing these things up is because, prior to this crisis that we're in now, there've been lots of people who've wanted to try and go online with meetings into prisons, H&I, that kind of thing. And, they ran into a lot of obstacles. It's okay to have concerns about these things. It's okay to have concerns about the fact that we're all sitting here on camera and, possibly somebody's recording this, and, is it going to be put out to the public? All those kind of things. Those are potential problems, but they're not unmanageable. So, don't let somebody who's afraid of a new idea run you off from this stuff. Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean that it's wrong. Even in a system with lots of traditions that are documented and passed down through time, there's still room for people to do new things. So one of the things I think can make it easier for us is when we're doing something new and different, but it looks like something we've already done before. And that's what this is. When we talk about doing a meeting online, or we talk about somehow bringing an online meeting into a prison, yes, it's a new way of doing it, but it's really just a modification of something we've done before. When we're just modifying something we've done before, we're going to be a lot less likely to get off track. We're going to be a lot less likely to go out into violating, traditions and causing danger to the fellowship as a whole. So some other things I want to tell you, some people are going to be uncomfortable with it. Some people may tell you, hey, don't do this. You need to stay in your lane. Um, we're the experts, that type of thing. And my answer to that is yes and no. You know, if the experts who are telling you, hey, stay in your lane, or watch out for this, if they have been doing things successfully, if they're successfully bringing services and um, helping the addicts and meeting needs from addicts in the fellowship and outside, um, what I say is listen to them, learn from them. You know, but if the needs are not being met, if there's a big need and it's not being filled, that's not the time to stay in your lane. That's the time to experiment. That's time to tinker with a new idea, and that's time to try something new. So uh, just my last thought here is, how can we experiment safely? And what I mean is, you know, you know, you notice that this is in a private room that we're having this discussion. This is not a safe discussion or any kind of an NA discussion is not a safe discussion to put up and publish to the general public. Um, so how do we experiment safely? In my business, we call it, bounding your downside. But basically what we do is we try and put limits and firewalls between us and the ideas that we're doing and having them spread. So if we're going to start something new like this, we build it up in a small way. We experiment with it. We have a few people come in, and then as it's successful, and we have other people try and carbon copy that, maybe they can add some new ideas to it. And, instead of building up by trying to say, let's all do this everywhere all at once. No, let's do this in some places and let it spread organically. That's our best chance of not setting off, a chain event and ending up doing something stupid. So, these are generalized ideas, and I know I'm not talking, a lot of fellowship lingo, but I just know that we've run into these issues. That there are people who are scared of this, and what I'm trying to tell you is those people, they may or may not be right about being scared, and so we should experiment safely and do it in a way where if we do something wrong, if we screw up, it doesn't affect all of us. Okay, and that way we can learn from that mistake, and we can continue forward, find better ways to do things.